There's nothing worse than a clout chaser, man. They truly are the bane of my existence, and overall a real plague to society. I can't hate on them enough. Honestly, boo, stinky. But speaking of stinky, I'm sure you've seen this clip circulating all over Twitter this last week of the guy who had an interaction with Doja Cat where he gave her his musty ass t-shirt. Well, it turns out he's a clout chasing liar who lies on celebrities' names and even operates a stupid ass TikTok account with some cheap ass overpriced merch. Truly a quality individual, if I do say so myself, but I figured we could talk about it today and sort of break down all the drama. So yeah, let's just roll this shit. I'm sure it'll be oh so educational as always.
To give my shirt to Doja Cat because she's the iconic girl.
Period!
No, bitch, you deserve it. Literally, and if you ever want anything more, I got you, always. This is the girl here. I love you down. Thank you so much.
Happy Pride Month.
Pablo.
Nice to meet you.
Wait, what's your real name? Or is it Doja?
Ami.
Ami? Ami, so nice to meet you, girl.
Nice
You're
to meet
beautiful.
you.
I hope you have the best night. You're literally everything in life. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Period!
My girl, Ami. Love you down. Don't say thank you.
So after this clip took place, Doja Cat actually took to her Twitter account to say this in a now series of deleted tweets. She starts by saying, "I threw that musty ass shirt away, by the way. Bottom line is I'll smile at you, but it doesn't mean I fuck with you. And don't touch me and manhandle me when you don't even fucking know me. If you know, you know." I honestly think I need to stand up for myself in the moment sometimes. And he didn't even know my fucking name to be touching me and kissing me on the face like that. It's crazy. Damn. Okay, so a little bit of drama taking place. So let's break this down. So first and foremost, that's gotta hurt a little bit. I mean, bro's never beating the Musty allegations after this, unfortunately. Because, I mean, he got called out by a big-time celebrity. Like, imagine being the guy that was called a stinky bitch by Doja Cat. Like, what do you even do in that situation? You can't just go ahead and hit the restart button, right? But I do have to side with Doja Cat on this one. I mean, clearly homeboy's getting pretty touchy-feely, so I can see where she's coming from, but that's apparently not the universal sentiment. In fact, from what I can deduce is that the majority of people are actually siding with Pablo here, as I guess they're calling her fake, and, you know, they're saying she's being disingenuous towards a fan. I mean, you have motherfuckers out here saying she should have just given it to him straight, but let's honestly think about it for a second. I mean, you've got some random ass dude who's clearly part of a larger group and who you've never met before in your life. You know, also consider the fact that you're a celebrity, a female celebrity at that, and you have no idea what this crazed fan is gonna do. People go kind of crazy in some of these situations. It's honestly kind of scary. You never know, right? If I was a woman in this scenario, I'd be playing along too. You know, not a chance you're gonna see my ass getting slimed out in them streets over a goddamn t-shirt. You got me fucked up on that. And anyone trying to say that she mistreated a fan, they're just full of shit, because this dude is not a fan, clearly. I mean, he didn't even know her name. A real fan of someone would know their goddamn first name, right? At least you would think. But I do want to go ahead and actually play the clip back, because the naked eye at first glance might miss this, but if you re-watch the clip, you can see she's clearly uncomfortable. I mean, just by re-watching it, you can kind of tell there's something off about this guy. You know, he gives off major where my hug at energy. You know, he was that guy in high school that was like, hey, you know, where my hug at? And I feel like she's picking up on that energy. I mean, she clearly looks uncomfortable. She can barely even manage to make eye contact with him after all. And I mean, how do you go from never meeting this random ass dude before to suddenly having him grabbing you by the shoulders and like trying to force you into a kiss? You know, you see that? She had to like dodge a kiss from this freak. I mean, come on, man. I'd be tweaking, man. The alarm bells would be ringing like a goddamn fire station in my head. And these people that are like, oh, she should have stood on business. You know, she should have been genuine with this guy. Like, these are the same people that can't even tell the waiter that they fucked up their order. And yet I'm supposed to sit here and believe that Doja Cat was supposed to meet this unrealistic expectation, right? Like, these people, they're celebrities, right? But they're still human at the end of the day. You know, they still tense up and don't know what to do in awkward situations. I mean, again, think about it. What would you do if some random ass dude was getting all touchy-feely with you? It'd be kind of spooky, to be honest. But I mean, also consider the fact that when you're a celebrity and, you know, you're constantly being scrutinized and everything you say and do is being analyzed, you know, you can't really win. I feel like if she had stood on business and truly expressed how she felt, you know, you'd have haters there too. You know, in fact, I could see them saying some shit like, oh, you know, you're a homophobe. You know, how dare you treat a gay man like this, right? Doja Cat? She's a straight, cis, bigoted pig. She's not an LGBTQ ally. She hates gay people. Like, I could totally see people running away with that narrative. You just can't simply win with any of these losers. Just because she's this big celebrity, that doesn't give us the right to discredit her feelings. But like I said in the intro, this guy's a big-time clout chaser, and we'll get into that in a second. But I mean, I do want to point out the fact, too, that this altercation, it was all captured on camera, right? Like, they were recording. So, like, my question was, why are they recording this? Like, if I met one of my favorite celebrities or someone I claim to be a fan of, I wouldn't be recording it. You know, I would live in the moment. You know, I'd strike up a conversation with them, and then at the very end be like, hey, you know, mind if I get a picture? I wouldn't be fucking recording it. So obviously there's some sort of ulterior motive here, seeing as though the camera is rolling. But let's actually get into this. So this is where it kind of gets crazy. Similarly, he also uploaded this video over on TikTok where he was on some clout demon shit. Essentially, he claimed to have Instacarted some food to Kylie Jenner's house. Take a look at this.
Right when I think this whole Instacarting thing is getting normal again, I literally last minute leave my house to go do an order. I get one all the way in West Hollywood at fucking Erewhon for $12. I'm driving to this person's house to go deliver it. And as I'm driving by, I see all the security and stuff. I'm like, wait, this house looks so familiar. Why? Because my best friend Jordy showed me this house, and it's Kylie Jenner's house. And I'm like, wait, there's no way this can be Kylie Jenner's house. Like, I need to look it up. So I look it up online. It's Kylie Jenner's house. Kylie Jenner's Los Angeles house in the Holmby Hills. It's literally a $12 order for fucking pepperoni. This bitch could have paid me more. It's under the name of Ashton, so I'm guessing it's for her assistant or something. But they said I can't leave it out, that I have to call and I have to go through the gate. I'm shaking right now. I just handed it to the guy, and he was like, hi, is this for Instacart? And I was like, yeah. He's like, cool. I was like, is this Kylie Jenner's house? He's like, yeah. As all these Hollywood buses are coming by, he's like, oh, come with me just to bring it in there. I literally walk with him. The gate is closing behind me. I'm walking through this little pathway with like a river beneath it, and then I just leave it at the front door. I get to look into the whole house. I see all these assistants, all these maids and shit. I didn't see Kylie, I didn't see Stormy, but I swear I heard a baby scream.
Shut the fuck up. God damn.
Jesus, dude, you need to take a breath, man. But there's a couple things I want to comment on here. So first thing that I noticed, you know, aside from him not shutting the fuck up, was that he complained about allegedly being tipped only $12, right? Which to me is just a huge display of some weird sense of entitlement this guy has. Like, look, you dropped off pepperoni, motherfucker. She doesn't owe you anything. That to me was the first sign that this story is fake. But not only that, but this whole story just seems so exaggerated or like so fabricated, you know? It's like listening to a toddler try to tell you a story. There's no way this dude you handed the food to was just like, oh yeah, bro, she lives here. Let me show you her house. I'll give you the grand tour and let you potentially run into this woman. But not before I suck your cock first. Like, dude, come on, man. Seriously? He'd have to be a pretty shitty assistant to start doxing her shit for some lunatic. And it turns out my suspicions were correct. This was just some elaborate attempt to clout chase, because it turns out not only did he try to accuse her of being a terrible tipper, but Kylie herself had to set the record straight, essentially explaining that not only is that not how they operate, but he fabricated the whole description of her house, like with the whole river he had to cross and all that. Yeah, that's not real. That's not a real thing. That is so fucking embarrassing. She said, no one comes through the gate. The river? No river. The lying for attention rubs me the wrong way. Sorry. Recipe coming soon, lol. I did not order this myself. He was tipped through the app. Lied to about seeing through my windows and hearing my son cry. So essentially, this dude has now been exposed for lying for clout by 2 celebrities now. Like, what the fuck was the point of this video? All this really does for the guy is strengthen the argument that he was clout chasing off of Doja Cat too. You know, just trying to garner off as much clout from this woman as he could. And the shirt plays a significant role in all this because, like I mentioned earlier, he has his little shitty merch line that he has over there on TikTok. And so what I think happened was he was trying to promote the brand, right? He was trying to use Doja Cat for clout to get some eyeballs on his brand, right? You know, he figured he'd make this video, it'd be all cute, it'd go viral, and there'd just be this positive public reception, right? But then Doja Cat obviously didn't give him the response he was looking for, and so he got all pissed off and started talking shit.
Doja said some shit about me on Twitter. I just want to clear this up because it hurts, because I loved her. I watched her at Coachella. I've never claimed to be the biggest fan, but I really stand her, and I think what her work is amazing. I just think it's crazy because she's the one at this event that was being so nice, and she pointed out my shirt, and I said, and I like that. And then when I went outside and she was outside, I was like, girl, you'd be the perfect girl for my Pride collection. And she said, what do you mean? What Pride collection? I said, oh, I released this t-shirt, blah, blah, blah. blah, I'd love to give you one. She said, I'd want one right now. And I said, oh, I could give this one to you. She said, no way, you're not gonna give this to me. And that's when the video started, and she was being so sweet and amazing, and I thought that's what it was. And now, guys, she's on Twitter saying she threw that Musty shirt away. She's saying that I didn't know her name, that I manhandled her, all this stuff. I understand, guys, if I was being like too nice or whatever, I will take full accountability. I'm gay. I would never want to make her feel uncomfortable. She's so iconic.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop him right there. This has got to be one of the most pathetic videos ever posted to the internet in the history of ever. Yet, bro thought he was Walter White in the motherfucking lab just cooking, you feel me? You know, cooking up some hot shit. But let's say she did show genuine interest in his brand initially, right? Okay. That has nothing to do with the manhandling and the fact he didn't even know her name. I mean, that conversation would have happened before all of that took place. You know, is it possible that somewhere along the line you made her feel uncomfortable and let your true colors show? And I love how he apologizes and says he'll take full accountability, but not for what he made her uncomfortable with in the first place, but rather for being too nice, right? Like, dude, take some accountability. Stop playing victim. You're not the victim here. And stop trying to use the fact that you're gayer than a fruitcake to duck any accountability. Oh, these totally valid critiques regarding my behavior? Oh, no, that can't be true, guys, because I'm a homosexual. You know, a gay person wouldn't do that. You know, he's trying to disregard genuine criticism and her genuine feelings behind the guise of enjoying dick. Like, that's essentially what this boils down to. And this is exactly what I mean when I said earlier that if she had come out standing on business, you know, on some Justin Bieber type shit.
You're not getting it. It's not clocking to you. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
She wouldn't have been taken serious. And the fact that so many people are falling for this is not only really concerning, but it greatly illustrates that point.
I don't want to be that guy that comes on emotional or whatever, but I feel like I'm always the butt of the joke. Like, why am I the punching bag, bro? Like, literally, like, nothing happened other than her liking my shirt. I offered it to give it to her. She doesn't have to keep it. She doesn't have to do whatever, but she was obviously down.
Bro said she was obviously down. Yeah, I'm sure that would really hold up in court there, buddy.
And I understand she has to set her boundaries. She's a celebrity. I'm not. I will never understand that. So I value that and I appreciate it and I get that. But for me, guys, I'm a normal-ass person that's at a bar, meets Doja Cat. I just released my clothing drop for Pride.
Blah, blah, blah. No one cares about your shitty overpriced clothing line. Just give it a rest and get back to flipping my McDouble with cheese where you belong, because nothing quite screams you understand her like disregarding her feelings and making all these lame-ass excuses about how, oh, you're just a normal boy at the bar, tee-hee, and that you've released your musty-ass shirts. Like, that's all irrelevant, dude. Would someone who was genuinely remorseful or frankly gave a shit act like this?
You're lucky, cause I just paid your bill with a reply. I just made your money pile knee high. I just made your stats peak. Now you got a blue check.
The whole thing is just so funny because we now transition to this video where in it he uses her song Attention. Like, I just have to ask, is this guy retarded? Like, genuinely. Like, his whole thing is that, you know, he's so upset about how, you know, the iconic Doja Cat hurt his feelings and was saying all this, but then he's trying to pretend like he doesn't give a shit about all the haters in this video. To me, it's just a pathetic attempt to drag this little 15 minutes of fame he's got going on by playing her song while claiming to not be a clout chaser, when in reality that's exactly what he is. Like, this is seriously the biggest lack of self-awareness I've seen since, honestly, my last video. But seriously, come on, man. This dude is goofy as fuck. Like, this is honestly gay as fuck is what it is. Like, bitch, pull up your fucking pants, man. Maybe get a real job. You know, everything about this dude is just goofy as hell. Nothing worse than a clout chaser that'll lie and potentially damage people's reputations. But like all 15 minutes of fame, I'm sure his time will run out and he'll be back to irrelevancy in no time. Or at least I hope, because apparently he's now hit 500,000 followers on TikTok because of all this. So unfortunately, he is getting that attention that he craves. You know, he's getting that attention that he so desperately wants. And I'm just so tired of us collectively as a society making all the wrong people famous. You know, making stupid people famous has got to be one of my biggest pet peeves. But guys, thank y'all so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, rating, subscribe to the channel for more commentaries like this. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what y'all have to say about all this. And yeah, I'm done yapping. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye for now.